Magic mushroom.
Why? When bani?
I don't like.
1 kilo is good.
No, thank you. Bakso. I mean, woman painting, not men. Yeah. Huh? Where are you from?
French.
French? Oh, nice. Hello. Mexicali?
I like my tea. That's why I
Your tea is very nice. Believe me. Hello. Oh. Thank you very much. What's your name? Bye bye. bien gros.
Ouais, t'as cru que c'était la Palestine. Hein. Welcome to Bali.
C'est trop touriste de ouf. Hein.
Je me dis, j'aurais bien voulu te péter ici. Magic mushroom?
Thank you. Mushroom?
Yes.
No, thank you.
Why? When Bali?
I don't like.
1 kilo is good.
No, thank you. How much, 1 kilo?
1 kilo?
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Very?
Yeah.
How much?
Very cheap.
How much?
Very cheap.
Very cheap. But exactly. Okay. Bye bye.
J'adore, c'est pareil ou non? Bye.
oleh TikTok. Oleh TikTok. Ayo, Oli, sopo Oli?
Cepat makan.
Thank you.
It's 3 times you get free then. You don't have to pay.
Hai juga.
Mau surfing kak? Diajarin. Serius?
200 dah.
Oh, yang mana surf?
Thank you.
Apa dia?
Buy one t-shirt, we have t-shirt.
No, thank you.
Don't take my picture.
What name was this street?
Poppies Lane 1.
This is Poppies, yeah? Okay, thank you.
You want massage? Yes,
Thank you.
Right, right?
What is this?
Baso.
Bakso.
Baso.
This is like soup?
Baso. Yeah.
Soup with what? With meat? Huh? You know?
Baso, baso, baso.
Yes, but what include? What inside?
Chicken, chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah.
You're from Bali?
No.
Where are you from?
Bandung.
Bandung?
Yeah.
As is Indonesia, but another island, yeah?
Indonesia.
Okay. Good luck. Bye bye.
Itu ngecat tuh gagu lo.
You are so nice painting.
Yeah. Because nice design also.
But why painting you, not your friend? I mean, woman painting, not man.
In my studio, yeah, I help.
Oh, you help?
Yeah, because I'm kind of woman. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, you even not from here, yeah? What's your name?
Queen.
You are from Bali?
No,
Where are you from?
you guess
Guest? Where? Where?
where I'm from. You
Yeah.
guess.
Huh?
You guess.
I don't understand.
You guess me. I'm from where?
Ah, yes. I ask you, where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia. My mom from Java. My father from Java.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello.
Halo. Halo, halo. Halo.
Hello.
High five, high five.
Ada hebat.
Hello, take me.
Hello.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm good.
Take my clipboard. My clipboard. My clipboard. Yes, it's me too, yeah.
Oh, you are
Yes.
tailor
My
and
shop.
leather fashion.
Vito, leather fashion and
What's your name?
Vito, Vito.
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 Ah, Vito, yes, this is your name.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the good tailor and leather, okay?
Okay, okay, thank you. Everybody will look this video and know that if need some tailor. Okay. Good luck. Hello. Ice cream?
Yes. You wanna try it, sir?
No, thank you. After.
Hey, thank you. Papi, this price. Please give me.
This-
Hey,
For me? Very
buy
nice.
this 50,000.
Thank you, but I don't need.
Hey, you get content. You just ship money. You buy this. You buy this. 50,000.
Yang bisa loh mbak, 50. Yes, 50,000.
50,000. Yes.
Where you from?
Ukraine.
Oh UK.
Wow, nice country. Ada lagi. Ini apa yang hitam mas yang besar dikit?
Hello. Hello. Thank you.
Đây là bang baju.
Asas.
Pak mau nyanyi.
Oh, you take my video.
You didn't buy this big black bag? No? You don't like? Where are you from? Where are you from?
French.
French? Oh, nice. I'm from Ukraine. Near. Massage?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Many people here in Australia.
I'm not from Australia. I'm from Ukraine. Thank you.
Mushroom.
Mushroom, thank you.
Oh, it's sorting.
Hello?
terus kalau.
Hello. Thank you. You looks nice. You looks very nice. Have a good day. Hello.
Hi.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah.
Bakso?
Yeah,
Bakso,
bakso.
bos. Yes, bakso. Coba.
Kurang pedas.
Baksonya juga pedas.
What is this?
Bakso.
I mean, ingredient. Must be chicken,
Chicken.
Chicken. Yeah, it's chicken.
but these big balls.
Yes,
What is this?
big ball. It's
It's chicken?
Chicken.
Chicken? Oh.
Chicken.
Noodle,
Yes.
Noodle.
Sapi.
Noodle.
some vegetable. Sayuran?
Oh, sayuran is
Cold. Cold and sound.
Vegetable, yeah.
vegetable, ya.
Okay,
You try?
maybe. Hello. Thank you.
Free. 100, that's it.
Hello. This is bakso?
Ya, bakso. Bakso kuntul.
Bakso sawan.
Siap.
Masak mo ako sa kanya.
Good taste? Enak sekali?
Enak sekali. Size small.
Hello.
Masa sih masih apa?
You smile very nice. You smile very nice. Why you?
I don't
No,
like my tea. That's why I
your teeth very nice. Believe me. Bye bye. Hello. How are you? Hello. Thank you. What is this? Oh,
This cheap. 5,000.
nice. Oh. Where is? Keep. Just 5,000?
Yeah. 5,000.
Okay, I will buy all. Okay? For all. Okay. Take. Ready? Thank you very much. What's your name?
Arta.
Arta.
Yeah.
Nice. My name is Yashoda Nandana.
Nice to meet you.
Bye bye. Sama-sama. Bye bye, Arta. Thank you. Thank you.
Sit down, sit down.
No, thank you.
I have sunbed.
Thank you. I just walking.
Iya, my friend.
Sige, sige ka po. Wala pa sila yung Dito. Kung kamu gak? Sorry. Sorry.
How much one coconut?
40.
40.
Gon?
Good.
Gon?
Now no.
Iya. Dari surfing ya. Hah? Dari surfing teman. Ada apa?